Hi everyone, this is our second phone call to Transco, who are now known as National Grid. Now we've got the phone number queued in. If anybody would like to call Transco, National Grid, excuse me, about the gas supply, the phone number is 0845 835 1111. Right, we've got some questions. This is part 2. I know everybody's been waiting for this. Don't put the phone too close to the thing, otherwise it starts going beep, 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 beep. Excuse me. Right, here we go.
National Grid Inquiring, she's through to Sophie, how can I help?
Hi there, Sophie. I wondered if you could answer a couple of questions I've just got.
Okay.
I just wanted to know whose gas is actually flowing through National Grid's pipelines.
What do you mean? Like, who's the gas transporter?
No, I guess National Grid are the transporters.
Yeah.
I just wondered whose actual gas it is, who the gas belongs to that comes through their pipes.
Oh, right, do you want to know who owns the gas that goes through our National Grid pipe?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I can find that out for you. If you want to bear with me, I'll just check it, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This should be surprising.
I don't think she's going to come back with a relevant...
It could be Shell, it could be BP. We've got their phone numbers as well. Got some other questions to ask as well. She seems very nice. So if anybody wants to make this phone call, 0845
835.
1111.
Give it a go, see, you might get a different answer. Write some questions out that you can think, anything you can think of, and see what answers you get. Record them, and then we can pull them together and see if we're getting a bigger picture.
Interesting. It was Ben that we spoke to in part 1, and one of the key things that he said was we don't charge anybody for use of gas which goes through our network, which is quite surprising. I hope she can find the question.
Or even an answer.
Find the question, or even the answer. I've got 3 other questions to ask, so hopefully she won't have to keep going back to someone else to try and find the answer.
It's strange though, you work in a call centre dealing with this type of thing, you don't know whose gas supplies is coming through your...
Sorry about the wait.
Hi there, Sophie.
Hello?
Hi there, Sophie.
Hiya. So I think it's the line, it keeps breaking up a little bit. Basically, I've spoken to a supervisor, and with the gas that goes through our pipe, it's sectioned off and owned by different gas suppliers. We just help transport it through the pipelines.
Oh, right. Where does it come from originally?
I don't know, I actually knew the answer to that, but I can't really remember. I'm not 100% sure where it originally comes from, but I know with us transporting it, it is all owned by just all different gas suppliers.
Oh, right, okay.
Let me just double check, hold on. So you want to know where it originally comes from? So you mean like where it originally comes from to go into the pipe work throughout the country, you mean?
Yes, we spoke to Ben last week, and he said that it might come from BP or Shell. But it seems strange that National Grid don't know who owns the gas that comes through their pipelines.
Yeah, it's sectioned up and owned by all different gas suppliers. It's not owned by one specific company. With the gas that goes through our National Grid pipelines, it is, like I said, owned by different suppliers.
Oh, right, okay. How much do you charge to transport gas through the network?
What's that, sorry?
How much does National Grid charge to transport gas through their network?
Roughly, I wouldn't really know, no. What do you mean by when they're working with the suppliers to transfer the gas through?
Yeah, normally it's per cubic inch, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah. I've never actually been trained on the prices of how much it does cost for them to transfer it through. I've never actually been trained on that myself.
Oh, okay. There's a couple of other questions I wanted to ask, if that's okay.
Yeah?
We spoke to Ben last week, and he said that basically we asked a question if I had the meter removed. I think it's are the meters Siemens?
Are the meters what?
Are they made by Siemens Electronics?
Gas meters?
Yeah.
Well, it's you can get different types of meters. You can get like the credit ones, which you pay by direct debit, and then you can get the electronic token meters.
Right, it's just the regular meter, the G4 unit.
Oh yeah.
I think they're manufactured by Siemens. I'll look on the meter and give them a call. But Ben says the customer services at your place last week, he said that you can actually have your meter removed and you can buy a new one and have it fitted by a gas safety professional. So I'm thinking of doing that. But I was wondering if I own my own professionally fitted meter, does that make me the gas supplier?
You'd need a supplier to have a gas coming into your property though, wouldn't you? So I don't think...
Is the gas...
No, because you'd have to have a gas supplier to have a gas going through the meter and into your property, wouldn't you?
Yeah, is the gas not supplied free by National Grid?
No, National Grid isn't a gas supplier. We wouldn't ever supply gas. It's always like British Gas, Eon, EDF and Empower and companies like that that supply the gas. National Grid just transports it.
Oh, right. If I was to change the meter or have it professionally changed, how would I know who's supplying the gas?
Well, we do have a department where you can ring up. All you need to do is give the postcode and house number and they can find out who the gas supplier is to the property.
Oh, that'd be interesting. What's their phone number?
Yeah, I've got a phone number. Let me just find it for you, bear with me. Right, have you got a pen ready?
Yes.
Yeah, the number's 0870
0870
608
608
1524.
1524. And what's the name of that company?
The M number line.
The M number.
Yeah, M for Mike.
Oh. And what do they do again, Sophie?
What you do is when you ring them up, you're giving your postcode and house number,
Yeah.
and they can look on their systems to find out who the gas supplier is for the property, because it will come up on our database.
Right. Well, that should be interesting. Yeah. When you change the supplier, surely the gas is the same in the supply, isn't it, from the National Grid?
What's that, sorry?
When you change supplier, surely the gas is the same that comes through the National Grid, isn't it?
Yeah, when you change gas suppliers, it takes up to 4 to 6 weeks before it comes on our database of who it is that's the new supplier. Because the gas suppliers always update us on the database of that department on who the new supplier is.
Oh, right, okay, that seems a bit confusing.
So, for example, if you're with British Gas and then you'd want to change to Empower, it'd take about 4 to 6 weeks and then it would be put on our database.
Yeah. Oh, right, okay, well, thank you for your help. I don't think the questions have really been answered. I'm still not quite sure whose gas comes through National Grid, and how do they know who's putting the gas through their grid to even bill them?
Do you want me to ask?
Yes, please, if you would.
Let me note it down. So you want to know where originally the gas comes from when we transport it?
Yes, please.
What else was it that you wanted to know?
That's pretty much it. Where does the gas come from? And how would National Grid know who to bill if they don't know whose gas is coming through their lines?
Right, so basically, you want to know where it originally comes from, what company it comes from before it gets transported?
Yes, and how do National Grid know who to bill for using their pipelines?
Before we use it. Sorry, it's because the line keeps breaking up, so I'm struggling to hear you. What was the last bit you said about the pipeline?
I'm sorry, yeah, I just wondered how would National Grid know who to bill if they don't know who is using their pipelines?
Right, if you want to bear with me, I'll just ask the supervisor quickly for you, okay?
Thanks, Sophie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's hard getting these questions answered. It's amazing that if you own a grid of pipelines, how would you know who to bill if you don't know who's sending the actual gas to your particular pipelines?
The problem you've got there is you're assuming, as we're told, these big six are separate and not one. And I think you'll find out that they are actually all in it together, still run by British Gas. Because when I've had dealings with them a few years back, it was a guy from British Gas that turned up and he claimed to be from British Gas. I says, we're not with British Gas. So he claimed to be with Ian. I said, we're not with him. So he claimed to be with them all, but he was a British gas guy. So British Gas is still fully in charge. There is no big six, it's the one at the top. And you're just given the illusion of choice, as you can see from the fact that the bills have gone up so dramatically since privatisation, thanks to Mrs Thatcher.
Oh, I'll ask Sophie at National Grid this particular question, is because if she comes back and said it's British Gas that's putting their gas through their pipelines, they obviously buying it from BP and Shell, aren't they? And there's also a Russian network which you can buy from, and a China network. A lot of the gas comes through pipelines that go through Europe from Russia. All these questions and more will be answered.
Or not.
Or not. Maybe, but we might have to do a part 3, because we're going to do one on electricity as well. And want to get to the root of these particular questions and find out what's going on. Hopefully she won't be too long.
Don't think she gets many calls like this.
No, she said she wasn't trained in any particular aspect of customer services to do with the National Grid, so I wonder how she got the job.
But we are phoning National Grid customer services.
Yeah, and she's not trained. We love you, Sophie, if you watch our videos. Thanks for all the lovely comments on part 1 of the Transco National Grid, everyone. We enjoyed that. And yeah, it's been confirmed that you can buy your own meter on eBay. About 39, 49 quid. 49 quid with the regulator, I think. And it's not illegal to fit your own gas meter. But what I want to know is, I'll ask Sophie as well, if I fitted my own gas meter, who do I send the bill to? She'd probably say you're a gas supplier. So how do I know who supplies the gas?
Since you don't know...
That's why I'm calling you.
Since you don't know who supplies the gas, how are we supposed to know who supplies the gas?
Yeah, that'd be an interesting question.
Yeah.
And we'll call this the M number line. I've never heard of these people. I'll do some research
Must
on
be
that.
for meter number.
Oh, meter number line.
Are you still there?
Hi there, Sophie. Yeah, sure.
I've spoken to my supervisor. Basically, like, what I said, we don't, you know, like you said, Shell and BT?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not the producers, basically, and they are the ones, because it comes offshore, and then it goes to producers, who then, we sell it to the gas suppliers.
Oh, so you do sell it to the gas suppliers?
What's that, sorry?
The National Grid do sell it to the gas suppliers then?
Yeah, we sell it to the gas suppliers, and we're sort of like a courier service, if that's how you want to see it. So we don't really own anything, like we don't own the gas or anything, but we do charge the gas suppliers for using the gas.
Oh, right, that's most interesting. What was the question? Yeah, how much do National Grid charge to supply the gas to the so-called Big Six?
Well, I did ask them, we don't really have like a rough estimate of how much it does cost. All they said to me basically was that we do sell it to the suppliers. So they, for example, they pay us. So we wouldn't necessarily know because the suppliers pay us for using the gas.
Yeah, why would they pay you if they're supplying it?
Because we're the ones that transport it for them.
Right, so I'm going to ask another question. If I've had a professional gas meter, professionally fitted, would it be possible for me to send you, or National Grid, the meter reading?
No, we wouldn't ever deal with the meter readings or bills because we don't have responsibility over that. It's like with the gas suppliers, they're the ones who deal with the bills for the gas meters and using the gas into your property. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sort of. I would think that a person who owns their own meter will be their own gas supplier.
I mean, it's how I said I've never heard of anyone actually having their own gas meter. I've only ever heard of people having meters through their gas suppliers. I mean, we sometimes fit gas meters, but we're never the supplier. They've never paid their gas bills or electricity bills to ourselves.
Oh.
It's whoever the supplier is that puts the gas through the pipes into their house.
Yeah, it just seems a little bit confusing. As I say, we spoke to Ben last week at National Grid, Customer Services, and I asked him the question: is it unlawful for me to buy a meter and to have it professionally fitted myself? He spoke to his supervisor, and he said, yeah, no problem at all. It's not against the law to have your own meter, but I think in contract law it does say that whoever owns the meter is the gas supplier.
Alright, I don't really know myself. I've never had anyone say that they've had their own meter before, so I couldn't tell you myself, because I've never had anybody tell me that.
Oh, right. Would it be possible for you to ask your supervisor if a person...
Basically, if you professionally had your own meter fitted,
Yes.
you would basically be the gas supplier.
Yes, would I be the gas supplier?
Okay, I'll have to... Right, if you want to bear with me, I'll just ask that for you, okay?
Thank you so much, Sophie.
Thank you.
It's always nice when you make these phone calls to be nice as pie. What was that question you wanted me to ask?
Yeah, well, they've just admitted that they actually charge them for running the gas through their network. So how much do they charge them? That's a simple enough question. How do they know who supplied what? Because they don't even seem to know who supplied anything.
What shall I ask about British Gas as well? British Gas got anything to do with this? Seeing as they're called British Gas, are they just one of the so-called 6 big energy suppliers? Though there are more. You heard about Utility Warehouse? Yeah. Apparently they're quite cheap. There are others apart from the big 6.
But you can't really get cheaper than supplying your own.
No, I thought, that would be the cheapest, to supply your own if you've got your own meter. I'm sure in law it says that if you own the meter, that you are the supplier.
Well, what we do know is that the gas is supplied and you only pay for it for when it passes through their property, their meter. So, therefore, by us fitting our own meter, then surely that means that we would be the ones that we would bill.
Yes.
And of course, since we're quite nice and not like these other companies, we're going to bill ourselves.
Of course.
Amazing how many times she's had to go to get advice, hasn't it? I mean, it's just a few simple questions and...
Maybe we should call up and say, can we speak to your supervisor, please? Nobody's asked these questions before, apparently, she says. Never heard anybody ask questions before. It's strange, isn't it?
Just be a good slave, don't ask questions.
Be a good citizen and do what you're told. No thanks. Well, no. And if you don't ask questions, you don't receive anything. So, the gateway to intelligent infinity is to carry on asking questions until you get the answer. We're not getting very far today, but it's very interesting. Well, this will be great if we can find out that if you do own the meter, that you are the supplier, then you can bill yourself. And of course you bill yourself like this man says. Nothing.
Or, seeing as though they don't even know who's supplying it, we could...
By the way... Hello?
Hi, Sophie.
I've spoken to my supervisor and basically he said to me, I said, this gentleman's been told that he can fit his own meter and he'd be the gas supplier. And my supervisor said, no, that's never the case. Only gas suppliers can install the gas meters and they're the ones who supply the gas.
Right, I was thinking, if I did have my own meter professionally fitted and I didn't contact, say, British Gas or any of the so-called Big 6 or any of the others, that the gas would continue to flow. So I just wanted to know, if I didn't want to have anything to do with the so-called government Big 6, that, who would I send the meter reading to?
I mean, I think you need to speak to a gas supplier because we're an emergency service, so I couldn't tell you myself if that's the case because we only take emergency calls like gas leaks and fires and explosions. So with regards to the gas flowing through the meter and bills and stuff like that, I couldn't tell you any further about it.
Do British Gas have anything to do with the supply or put through your pipes?
Any gas supplier you speak to, they will have something to do with the gas pipes, yeah.
Right, I think I'll make a phone call to BP and Shell because it just seems strange that nobody can answer these questions.
Yeah, if you give them a call, I mean, they know more about the gas going into the properties and bills and stuff. I mean, I'd probably speak to a gas supplier. They're the ones who can tell you for definite whether or not you can have a meter fitted and be the gas supplier, but I've been told my supervisor that's not the case.
I've got a funny feeling they'll probably say no. There was one other question. Who supplies all the electricity on a grid in England and Great
I
Britain?
couldn't tell you anything about electricity because I work in the gas department.
Oh, so it's nothing to do. The electricity's nothing to do with National Grid.
I know National Grid has something to do with electricity, but I only work in the gas emergency department, so I wouldn't know anything about the electricity.
Oh right. I'm just wondering who to call. Would it be Western Power?
You could give an electricity supplier a call, yeah, but I couldn't unfortunately give you any details about electricity because I'm only trained on the gas.
Or not, as the case may be. Sophie, thank you so much. Thank you for trying to get answers to my questions. And you sound like a really nice lady, so have a fabulous weekend.
And you.
Thank you so much. Ta-da.
Thank you, bye.
Oh, there you go. We didn't really get many answers, but
Not so expected any, really.
gonna have to look through this video again to. But there's going to be a part 3 now.
Well, as it's been brief, if you want more information, get in the forum because there's a lot more information in there. But basically, if you're going this route, then at some point they are going to try and steal your meter. To do that, even though they would be committing perjury because they would have to go to court, and the only reason they can use the Gas Act is to check for safety reasons, so your gas meter's safe. Now they're going to lie and say it's not, so you need to go to court, and as I'm sure he'll let you know, someone that's done it if he wants to. I'll give him a nudge and hopefully he'll pop out on the forum. You turn up at court, they won't be able to deal with you then because they're just stamping the warrants, and you turn up, they can't have a hearing. So this is what I've been told. I think they possibly could at some point as well. But anyway, then they'll have to go back, put it back about a month for a hearing. You'll get to the hearing. Every chance that no matter what you say, although things are changing, they will still issue a warrant of entry anyway. If they do this, appeal against it that on the day. That will then give you 3 to 4 months before the appeal's heard, during which time they can't act on the warrant of entry. And I've been informed that the warrant of entry only lasts 21 days, so obviously by the time the appeal's heard, the warrant's null and void, and they'd have to go through the whole process again, and you just go through the whole process again, and it's a merry-go-round of sorting things out.
What a kerfuffle, just to try and get free gas. That's actually coming through the pipes for free. They don't know who they're billing. Oh, it's bizarre, isn't it?
They don't know who they're transporting it for.
She did say that they have to pay, don't they?
Yes, yes.
We'll have a look at this video again. Anyway, everybody, thanks very much, Salon. And sorry to call you names, mate. And yeah, the forum that we're talking about, if you're not familiar, is getoutofdebtfree.org. Right, on his video he puts it along the bottom so you can have a search. Looks like we'll see you later because there's going to be a part 3, part 4, maybe a part 5 of this because we need to get to the root of this.
If we can track this down to the bottom, we can sort a lot of things out.
Yeah, we're going to assemble a few more numbers and give us a couple of days and we'll be making a few more phone calls. Now you all have a nice weekend. And remember, when you make phone calls like this, be nice as pie to them. They're only just another self. And it is great fun. She was really nice, but she really didn't know what she was talking about. We love you.